Hey YouTube, what's up? I get in here and I'm moved to things especially when I don't know how you guys feel about this, but you ever have that feeling where you constantly have that feeling? Let me go. Everywhere you go, you constantly get that feeling, right? About something, situation, talk about something. And it won't let you go until you line it out. Actually do what you have to do to get it off your mind. And then you find out, it was good I did that. Because if I didn't do it, now look what would happen. Or it's good I checked on that. But yeah, I got this feeling, and part of it's about my mother, my blessed mother, who was in the glory of God, who went on to see the Lord. And I was thinking about her situation, and part of what happened, all of it at the bitter end. I won't even go into that because that's more private. But part what happened when I was a young kid, and we lived in not the heart of LA, but we lived in LA County, and we were staying. I remember we were staying with my uncle, who lived in Compton. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that area. That's where he lived, and we were staying with him, and we had to take a bus, and I believe they were in those times called RTD. They were not Metro. They were called RTD in those times. That's probably giving you information that I don't want you to know. I don't know. Maybe, yeah. Although I'm in my 20s. They still had one RTD around. We'll keep it like that. So we were taking a bus called the RTD, and this driver in this bus, ladies and gents, this story is for your benefit as well, so you can tell some situations when which you probably already know, you're streetwise, but even if you're streetwise, sometimes you can miss things. But and I still remember this as a little girl. So anyway, he comes along, and we're waiting, because you know how it say, wait at the bus stop. Because if you don't wait at the bus stop, a bus driver will pass you by. Zoom! And although we waited at the bus stop, we waited patiently and just like we're supposed to. We looked, he saw us, we saw him, we made eye contact, I think. But seeing his eyes later on, I don't know, they were every which way but right. But we made eye contact. We did. All 8 passengers there. All of us there. There's too many people to miss. Look. He just keeps going, telling you it had to be almost half a block. And they exaggerating, or maybe close to half a small block. Okay, I don't know what to bring up for you to remember something, and we had to walk that far. Luckily, he didn't pull off or say you're taking too long to get out the bus. So hold on. Okay. So anyway, we're waiting at the bus stop. And This guy, I still remember his face, and I was a child. I think I was a child. You can't remember things at that age, real young. And he had these clear glasses on, and we got on, and he's bald man, and he looks like Milano man, heavy set, and he's just sitting there wigging in the chair, wigging around, and I'm looking at my mama like, I think that mama. I looked at my mom like, what's it? Mom. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know the words to say, but I knew something wasn't right. Okay. So, first of all, when he stopped the bus, we were at time, but when he stopped the bus like maybe 2 feet over what the sign was. So he stopped at like, you could say, oh, maybe, and this is not exaggeration, maybe almost half a block away away from where the sign was. So my mom's like, oh shit. But she had to go where she had to go. I think it was something very important, like work or something that had to deal with work or something like that. So we get on. My mom worked for Greyhound. I got stories for that too, but we're sticking to this story right now. We get on. This guy's something wrong, and he's picking up more passengers as we sit down, and he keeps scooching in his chair. He's moving all around. I tell you, he's moving more around his chair than he's moving the wheel of the bus. But thank God we were on a straight road. So he's scooching all around and moving, and you can't see in them glasses, and extending his neck up and down like a goose. See, it's funny now, but it wasn't then. It's just like a goose, just working the window, scooching. Like, I'm 2-some years old, 3. Like, what the? I didn't know. I was like, no, something right. The whole vibe was off, right? So we knew something was dangerous happening. I'll tell you this story because maybe you don't know. This is how you catch someone who's hot. Okay? You got to watch out for that, especially if you ride in public transportation. And thank God I don't have to now. Thank God. Thank you, Lord. You just don't know who they hired. So he gets this last guy, and this other guy got in and said, what the F? And he didn't have such nice words, okay? So he got in and said, what the F is wrong with you, man? You passed me up, and I'm way down here, and you gonna make me walk here? And the guy didn't even say nothing. He just kind of out, grabbed the wheel real tight, and kept scooching and looking up the thing. So, he kept going. And as you guys are familiar with LA, even in Los Angeles, such a big city like Los Angeles, there's many train tracks. Okay? So there's still train tracks in that city. I mean, you can just go down Upland or down Foothill, Pasadena, and catch yourself even going up to what is it? Garvey Street, and I think it's not Limonite. Limonite's the opposite direction. I forgot what it is, but it's over there, just straight off of Pomona. You could catch just from Pomona to Upland at least 10 train tracks going each and every way. Okay, and in Los Angeles, no different. So he stops, and I think the only reason he stopped, and he didn't stop, by the way, before the tracks. We just go, you know what's about to happen here, right? So he's not stopping right there, and people are like, damn, man, do you realize you stopped on the tracks? Back up, man. Back up. They're telling him, back up. You stop on the track. And he's doing that same thing. This is how you tell when people are high. People are high and they're driving you. Just be very conscious, because this world today is flip mode. Okay, y'all don't know what flip mode means. We just say it. The world is dark today. We're living in some pretty dark times. You can't deny. Just look around you. Seem like demons flipping in anyone and everyone who is willing and allowing that to happen to their poor soul and their human body. They've becoming parasites. Now, this is the kind of parasites of alcohol or something that this dude was doing. And here are the bells and whistles, ding 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 ding. And you know what this ninja did? Ding 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 ding. This ninja, I kid you not, while parked on the tracks of the train, okay, not totally, but like just a little, and that's enough. He did the final hop. It's not funny. I don't know why. I just have a jolly spirit. Guys, it's like medicine. It's like medicine. You know, instead of taking an aspirin or something with pain, I'll probably nurture myself a little bit with a little laughter. Have you heard of that? Just a little laughter, whether funny or not, can kind of mellow down your soul. So that's why I like to extend that, I guess. But anyway, that was his last hop. He looked out before, excuse me. So before he even jumped off the bus, before he did that, okay, you tell he was in another realm. He was in another realm, a realm of himself, whatever he took before he started driving, and extreme delusional, okay, what's going on? Before this guy jumped out of the bus before the train hit us, he turned around in the aisle. I don't know if you've ever been in a bus, or maybe you saw it on the news or whatever. He turned around and looked back in the aisle at the 2 rows of passengers. And he just kind of in a hunched, hunched partially over, and his legs kind of like bobble, like they say, you're bow-legged, kind of look bold or whatever. And he was like, you guys save your own life. I mean, he really thought something was coming after all of us. Maybe a UFO or something. I don't even think he knew it was a train. Like you're on Earth, automobiles, trains, cars, trucks, jackknifing. Those things were obsolete to him. I think he thought it was some space creature or something. The way he was acting was so unrealistic, and it's obvious it was because he was altered in some fashion that none of us really knew about. So before he jumped out high air, this man is like maybe 350, 400 pounds, and he was like ballerina that day. And before he went poof poof out the door, he's like, save yourselves. He was out. And this ninja jumped out. Jumped out of the bus and left all the people in there. Okay? So this is why I come back to my mother. My mother, the sweet soul she is. She's standing back, calm down. Like, calm down. People weren't listening. Everybody got out their chair. And this is where the hardest part of life forever comes in. She said, come on, we gotta go, honey. And she grabbed my hand. But it didn't work out. So many people, because a train was coming, stumbled over her. This is how she got her injury. Stumbled over her. And it wound up really putting a damage to her back, her spine, her very lower spine. I tipped the balance, like tip to nose with the train. This was a miracle, folks. This was a miracle. And I think it was about maybe 15 more of us that were blocked from running out the bus, myself included. And the train just tipped to nose, got us, turned that RTD bus, didn't turn it upside down, but kicked it wildly across the tracks, at least 10 feet, We wound up in the next street, and that's where we lie, right there. And my mom's still on her back. But she managed. This is God. This is the work of God. All of us were not pulverized. All of us were not pulverized. Finally, people got some common sense and said, hey, this shit's happened. This stuff has happened. Pardon my French. I'm learning not to curse. I apologize, Lord. This stuff has happened. And they leaned out a stretched hand to my mother and helped her from her peril and helped me and her to get off. But by then, she was so hurt. And that injury from people stepping on her, unethical, crazy ass people just not giving a nothing, not trying to give a hand, nothing. Just, I gotta get off this bus, this train is coming, I don't care, I want to run over, and just, just stepping all over her. That's what happened to her. Her spine inflicted that, and for the rest of her, up until 71, the rest of her life, from I think she was in her 30s then, from that time until she was 71, her spine took it. It took it for the team, for the whole skeletal team. And that when one injury happens to a bone, I'm not a doctor. See your doctor. That is for your best interest. He will explain what's wrong with you. That is my disclaimer. I'm just saying my situation. From her point on, where that bone was messed up, she and what she incurred, I believe it didn't help her in life leading up into the time of departure for my dear mom to go home to be with the Lord. So I remember my mother telling my aunt what went down. And my aunt wasn't too reluctant to take my mom everywhere, because my mom had to go here, there, and my mom was kind of time not thinking, or how would you say that? She didn't really, she would go in somewhere, and if it took a long time, oh well. And I don't think my aunt was appreciative of that, because it was on her time and she was doing it as a favor. But ever since she told my aunt, girl, he got up, turned around, looked at the passengers, and just hopped off the bus. And that bus driver was nuts. He was high on something. And, I had to get where I was going. And, from my aunt went from reluctant to protective. And she started taking my mother. It didn't matter to her at that point. She started taking her everywhere. But that's how my aunt and my mom were. They were close. They were besties. I mean, they had each other's back, So, yeah, that's how that was. Sure do miss him. All right, everyone. Until next time.